At the beginning of the story, we see a security guard named H, who along with his partner Bullet, was delivering a truckload of cash to the bank. Suddenly, their truck was stopped and tear gas was released inside. After all this, as soon as H stepped out of the truck, the thugs looked at him and became terrified. They abandoned the truck and ran away. Bullet later told his colleagues that something was definitely strange about H. The goons ran away as if they had seen a ghost. Almost 2 weeks earlier, a man named Patrick Hill had come for an interview at this company. This company provides security to clients who make large cash transactions, taking responsibility for transporting huge amounts of money safely from one place to another. Terry, who held a senior post in the company, was quite impressed after looking at Patrick's resume. "You've done some very good work," he said. But he also explained how dangerous this job was. About 5 months ago, one of their armored vans was on its way for a delivery when it was suddenly stopped mid-road. It looked as if some road repair work was going on. Workers had blocked the road with a truck, and men disguised as construction workers surrounded the van. They broke one of the van's doors and threw in a grenade, killing the driver and the security guard on the spot. The thieves quickly loaded the money into their truck and fled. After explaining all this, Terry asked Patrick, "Do you still want this job, knowing the risks?" Patrick agreed. Just then, Bullet made his entry and met Patrick for the first time. He told him, "From now on, your name here will be H. Don't reveal your real name to anyone." Soon, Patrick began his 60-hour training, in which it was mandatory to score at least 70%. If he scored lower, he would lose the job. H only scored the bare minimum needed to pass. His bullets always hit the outer ring of the target, as if he was deliberately holding back. During the driving test, he drove perfectly well, but in the end, while reversing, he deliberately bumped into some boxes. Later, Bullet introduced H to his team called Formula One. They all used strange nicknames so that no one's real identity would be revealed and no personal weaknesses could be exploited. After the introductions, H was given all his weapons so he could begin his duty. One day, Dave and his partner John were preparing to deliver a very large package. Bullet was supposed to accompany them, but at the last moment he replaced John with H. Dave warned H. "You can't imagine how dangerous this job is." H calmly replied, "Whatever the danger is, I'll handle it." "Okay." The three of them set off in the truck. During the ride, Dave told H that he was originally assigned duty on the van that was robbed 5 months ago, but by chance he had taken a leave that day. That's why someone else went in his place and lost their life. H asked him, "Why did you take leave?" Dave admitted that he suspected an insider might have been involved in that robbery. "The police already questioned me about this," he said. But honestly, I had just drunk too much the night before and couldn't come to work. While talking, they reached a building where they had to pick up $2 million. Bullet took H with him to see whether he was just all talk or if he could actually do the job. They collected the money and quickly returned to the depot. The depot was under heavy security, and every employee had to pass through a security check. Once inside, H carefully observed everyone's ID cards before going to the rest area with the others. People were already whispering that H didn't talk much. One of the employees tried to know more about him and asked about his past work. H replied briefly, "I used to work in a big company in Europe." Then he ended the conversation abruptly, asking the man to leave. The man felt insulted, and after this incident, suspicion about H grew among all the employees. The next day, H, Dave, and Bullet went to deliver a small amount of cash. But suddenly, Bullet was taken hostage. The robbers demanded the millions that were inside the truck. Dave panicked and said according to company rules, they should leave immediately and not get involved. "They'll figure out a way to free Bullet on their own," he said. But the kidnappers threatened, "If either of you moves from here, Bullet will be killed immediately. No negotiations, no calls, right now." H told Dave that both of them would have to face the enemies together. But the best option was to hand over the money and save Bullet's life, because Bullet's life was worth more than the money. The kidnappers also started pressuring Dave to bring the cash. They gave him full instructions about where to go. When they reached the spot, a car was waiting in front, and a truck pulled up behind them. From the car, the kidnappers brought Bullet out. They directly told Dave to put all the money into the truck behind them and warned him not to try any tricks. H took charge of transferring the money. He told Dave to stay calm and began throwing the bags from their truck into the other one. Bullet had been brought out and kept in plain sight, so that if there was any clever move, they could kill him instantly. H deliberately threw one of the bags outside instead of into the truck. A kidnapper stepped out to pick it up. At that moment, H cleverly pulled out his gun and shot him. Then, with calm precision, like a true action hero, he took down the kidnappers one by one. During training, his bullets had always hit the outer ring of the target, but now every single shot hit the middle of the forehead. It was clear he had serious experience. H chased the kidnapper's boss into a warehouse and directly asked him, "Who are you working for?" The man refused to give a straight answer, so H dragged him and shot him dead. Soon, Bullet and Dave arrived and were shocked to see that H had single-handedly wiped out the entire gang. After this incident, the police interrogated H, suspecting he might be a foreign secret agent. "How else could you finish an entire gang so easily?" they asked. H replied calmly, "No, sir, nothing like that. I just got lucky, my shots landed right by accident." Later, the police showed H the video footage of the robbery that had taken place months earlier. H said, "I don't know anything about this. Back then, I wasn't even working for this company." Outside, H's senior told him that according to company policy, he'd have to do a desk job for 1 month, because they didn't want him falling into depression and making any reckless decisions. H asked, "Do I look depressed to you?" Just then, the company owner arrived. He praised H, telling the senior, "This is exactly the kind of man our company needs. Does he look like someone who belongs behind a desk? This man is pure blood, a warrior through and through." Meanwhile, the police officer who had interrogated H called his superior and reported, "This is the same man the Bureau has been searching for the past 25 years. But the boss ordered, "For now, don't take any action. Let him do whatever he's here for. He didn't come for money. He has his own mission. Don't interfere." The officer protested, "Sir, if we knowingly let him stay here and something goes wrong, the department's reputation will be ruined." But the boss replied, "Nothing will go wrong. He's not here for cash. Let him finish whatever he came to do." Soon after, a woman came to meet H. She handed him a file that contained all the data of the company's employees, along with a postmortem report. After carefully studying the files, H began to suspect a security guard named Diana. He secretly broke into her house and held her at gunpoint to interrogate her. He saw a stash of cash in her home and asked, "Where did you get all this money?" Diana confessed that she had stolen it from a liquor store, hoping to use it after her retirement. She insisted that it was the first and last crime she had ever committed. H warned her, "If you know something, tell me now, because if I find out later, it won't be good for you." But Diana denied knowing anything. H gave her a warning and left. Then the story takes us 5 months back in time. H was traveling with his son Dougie when he received a call from a man named Mike, the same man who had once tried to rob a truck and then ran away after spotting H. Mike wanted the location of a Fortico company truck. He had previously assigned this job to someone else, but that man had met with an accident. Now, Mike handed this task to H. H and his son drove to the Fortico depot. Leaving his son in the car under the pretext of buying food, H went outside to keep an eye on the truck. His job was simply to inform Mike whether the truck turned right or left on its route. H gave Mike the directions over the phone and then returned with food to his son. Soon after, as the Fortico truck drove under a bridge right near where H's car was parked, it was attacked. The robbers looted the entire truck. But then they noticed H's son watching everything. He had become a witness. To erase this evidence, one of the robbers shot and killed the boy. H rushed toward his son, but before he could reach, another robber fired multiple bullets at him. H collapsed, badly injured, but not before seeing and memorizing the robber's face. H survived, but his son was dead. His wife blamed him for their child's death. Here it was revealed that H was actually the leader of a powerful gang, and the ones who had killed his son belonged to a rival gang. After the tragedy, H's wife left him forever. H then ordered his men to hunt down the rival gang. His crew started wiping out nearby gangs, trying to find out who was behind the robbery, but got no leads. When no clue surfaced, Mike suggested, maybe it was an inside job. Could be one of Fortico's own guards. Frustrated and restless, H told his men he wanted to take a break and go away to London to clear his head. But in reality, he was forging a new fake identity. He created a new name for himself, Patrick Hill. Along with this, H also got hold of his son's postmortem report. Then we see another gang. Its members were once part of the military but had now turned into criminals. Their leader was Jackson, and among them was the very man who had killed H's son, Jan. This gang was planning a major heist, and their target was none other than the company that transported cash. From an insider in Fortico, they learned that a truck carrying millions of dollars would be on the move. This was the same heist where H's son was killed. 5 months later, Jackson gathered his entire crew again and began planning an even bigger robbery, this time aiming for $50 million from Fortico. Every year there is one day known as Black Friday, when Fortico holds an unusually large amount of cash. That was the perfect time. A few days later, while H and Bullet were on their way to the depot with money, Bullet revealed the truth to H. Actually, I'm the one feeding information to the thieves. I was part of Jackson's gang once, and now I've been working here all this time just to leak everything to them. Bullet then added, "You seem like my kind of man. Join us. I'll make you rich." This was the revelation H had been waiting for. He immediately pretended to join Bullet. Bullet diverted the truck to a secret location, where some robbers were already hiding inside. After this, H and Bullet drove the truck into the depot. As soon as the truck entered, the thieves burst out, captured all the security guards and officers, and took them hostage. But one guard managed to hit the security alarm before being overpowered. This meant the police would soon be on their way. The guards tried to fight back, but Jackson's gang, protected by bulletproof armor, quickly overpowered them. H was tied up separately as a prisoner. Seizing the moment, he fought back, killed one of the robbers, and put on the man's bulletproof armor, disguising himself as one of them. Meanwhile, Bullet revealed his true face, ruthlessly killing both Dave and Diana. Now, only Jackson, Bullet, and Jan were left alive from the gang. But Jackson had been badly wounded during the shootout. Suspicion grew in his mind that Jan might betray them and take all the money for himself. Jackson pointed a gun at Jan, but Jan overpowered him, slit his throat, and killed him. Now only Jan and Bullet remained. They loaded all the cash onto bikes through underground tunnels and brought it to a getaway car. They packed all the money into the vehicle. But greed filled both their hearts. Before Bullet could draw his gun to kill Jan, Jan shot him first. Bullet died, and Jan escaped through the tunnels with all the money, convinced he was finally free. Later, Jan returned to his flat, relaxing. After coming out of the bathroom and approaching the table, he heard a phone ringing. It was lying among the cash-filled bags. When he answered, he realized too late, H was already in his apartment. This had been H's plan all along, to trace Jan's location. H confronted him. "The boy you killed that day, he was my son." He showed Jan his son's postmortem report, which confirmed that the cause of death was bullet wounds to the internal organs. And then, H killed Jan in the exact same way Jan had killed his son Dougie. After finishing his mission, H walked outside where an FBI chief was waiting for him. H handed over all the stolen money to the FBI. Now, with his work complete, H got into his car and drove away. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.